Hey, buddy! The Titan event is live, let's do this.
Yeah, buddy! I wait, baby!
And nothing like a bit of Ronnie Coleman to get hyped. For any new players watching who maybe finished the Folan fusions, the first ever fusion on their account, be prepared for these Titan events. They're basically like another fusion event after the fusion's done, meaning a whole batch more shards are going to need to be spent to get through this Titan event. We're going to talk about what rewards though you should be going for, even if you skipped the bloody Folan fusion. We're going to talk about what it's going to take, most likely, to get the 5-star soul for Folan, as well as why getting the 3-star soul for Folan, if you did the fusion, is like extremely easy, and is really an absolute minimum that you should be aiming for in this event. First off, we'll get to the most important bit, which of course is how many shards you're going to need to actually get through this event. Well, there's a summon rush coming up towards the end of the week. It's going to drop on the Friday. It's going to probably cost you somewhere in the region of like 4 to 8 sacred shards. Why such a big variance? Well, if you take a quick look at the Raid Shadow Legends event calendar, which is on the Plarium Player app, on PC. So if you're on PC, you can go ahead and check this out. We've got the Summon Rush event right here, and you can see it awards some Blossom points. Well, it awards 300 Titan event points, which is a lot, but yeah, the way this is probably going to be broken down is if you want 100 Titan event points from the Summon Rush event, you can probably get away with pulling like 4 or 5 Sacred Shards. If you want all 300 Titan event points, you're probably looking at pulling maybe like 8 or 9 Sacred Shards. I'd imagine about 8. And first word of warning is, I mentioned this in yesterday's video, but I'm going to say it again, this Summon Rush event cannot be skipped if you're going for the 5-star soul for Folan. Okay, it awards 300 points. You need to get at least 50 points from that Summon Rush event to stay on track to get the Folan 5-star soul. Because while the Folan 5-star soul costs 1,500 Titan event points, there are 1,750 Titan event points in total up for grabs, meaning you can skip a total of 250 points. Which obviously means that you can't completely skip that Summon Rush event no matter what. You're gonna have to pull some sacreds on the coming Friday to get through that Summon Rush, even if it's just getting at least 50 points. As for the next shard pulling event, well, it's probably going to be voids. Hey, before we get to that, really quick, if you guys are looking to create a new raid account, make sure to get that done right now. Click on the beginner link that's down below this video at the top of the description box, and use that link down below to create a new raid account, man, for the best start imaginable in 2026, man. Corvis the Corruptor and 3 free insane epic champions to help your account progress, all completely for free just by using the link down below to create your new raid account. And of course, you can use a beginner code on day 1 of your new account as well. I would suggest code WRATH for Grand Orc Podrick, man. Paddy the Baddy, Corvis the Corruptor for the ultimate double legendary champion start. Now, the Summon Rush event, that's going to cost us Sacred Shards, is just the first, of course, of the Shard Pull events. For this Titan event, the next is going to be a Void Shard 2x event with a 90 to 95% probability, right? Plarium can always do a little rug pull and throw like a random Primal Shard 2x in there or something, but I don't know, we had one of those quite recently. It would be a little bit of a bell end move is what I'd call that. I'd fully expect this to be a Void Shard 2x event, and it's probably going to set you back something like 25 to 35 Void Shards probably to get sort of like the bare minimum amount of points that you're going to need from that Champion Chase tournament when it eventually rolls around in about 9 days time. There's a lot of variance with Void Shards. If you're very low on Void Shards, you're only sitting at like 15 Void Shards or something, but you really want to try and get the 5-star soul for Folan, you're probably going to need to pull for this Champion Chase as well, just like you will need to pull something for the Summon Rush to get some Titan event points from that. Then what you can be doing is preparing any Fragment Summon champions that you got left over. Be ready to sort of pull these. You can also prepare some repeatable fusion champions. Relic Keeper, Broadmoor, have these champs ready to go and ready to fuse if you can, and it's just some easy points during a Champion Chase tournament. This doesn't help you during a Summon Rush. For any beginners watching, don't get confused between a Summon Rush event and a Champion Chase tournament. They both require you pulling champions, but they generate points differently. So hey, if you got the shard numbers that we spoke about just now, and as long as you're not absolutely like bottom of the barrel broke on silver, and you can get through the gear enhancement events, and you got, you know, like 800, 900, maybe 1,000 gems or something to get through all of the dungeon tournaments, which are starting to roll out just now, for this Titan event. Very soon we're going to have a Reyes Madness tournament. We're going to have to go ahead and farm. Finite Turn Attacks, the first of many dungeon tournaments as well. They're going to pop up from the various gear dungeons. You should be able to get the 5-star soul for Folan. Now, I will say as well, how much should you break the bank in order to get this soul for Folan? Is he worth it, right? What difference does it make getting a 3 or a 5-star soul on your Folan Silverheart? For me, to be honest, the gap is quite big. I'm willing to commit a lot to this on my free-to-play account. I'm very borderline in whether or not I'm going to have enough resources to do this Titan event on my free-to-play account, but I'm going to do whatever the hell I can and sort of like bend every resource that I can to my will on my free-to-play account to try and get the 5-star soul for Folan. Why? Well, it's going to be a 5-star blessing. I'd recommend that you go Nature's Wrath on your Folan Silver Heart. Increase the damage inflicted by this champion for every debuff they successfully place. Okay, and Folan places all kinds of decreased defense, block passive skills, and then he applies debuff spread. He ramps his debuff spammage very, very quickly, and so he's going to get a lot of value very, very quickly as well out of Nature's Wrath, even in shorter fights, to be honest. But especially in longer fights, stuff like Hydra, which is where he really, really excels with that debuff spread, right? Being able to spread things like Hex debuffs and HP bend debuffs. He's great at a Hydra, you know? Not just that though, but of course, you need at least a 4-star quality soul on a champion to get the flat crit damage stat for that champ, right? And so a 3-star soul only gives you defense, attack, and HP. Like, a 3-star soul is fine. Don't get me wrong. If you don't have the resources to go for the 5-star soul, don't go for it. Don't murder your account's resources trying to get it done when you clearly have only got, like, 2 sacred shards and you're not going to be able to get your way through the Summer Rush event, and it's dead on arrival. Don't go breaking bank for it. Save those resources for upcoming events. Folan Silverheart is just the first of many of these Web of Corruption champions that are going to become acquirable over the next couple of months, right, during this Web of Corruption event. So, yeah, hoard your stuff. Get the 3-star soul. You can get the 3-star soul easily by just doing a bunch of the dungeon tournaments and whatever, and just fannying about, really, like doing your dailies and stuff like that, farming the dungeon tournaments. You're going to get the 3-star soul, no problem, and it's way, way better than nothing. So, what the hell, you know? But if you can go for the 5-star soul, it is big, right? Not only are you getting the crit damage from the 4-star, but from the 5-star, you're getting the accuracy as well. This is a champion that does need accuracy, and a 5-star blessing for Nature's Wrath. I mean, just compare it to the 3-star. The 3-star soul gives you 2% increased damage against enemies for every debuff placed successfully by this champion, but it only stacks up to 8%. So it's a flat 8% damage buff to your Folan, effectively, in these longer fights. You can double that to 15% with a 5-star soul. It's a significant difference to me. And I do think that especially for early game or sort of even like mid-game sort of range accounts where you're still setting up maybe like your Hydra B team, your Hydra C team, stuff like that, Folan is going to fit into a lot of teams like a glove because of the versatility of this debuff spread. It's a lot of AoE damage, decent single target damage, decreased defense is universally useful, and debuff spread makes it so that you can slot him into almost any kind of Hydra team. And as long as he's spreading important debuffs, decreased taxes, God, I sound like Smeagol for a second there. Decrease the taxes, you know, Hex, HP bend, all that kind of thing. You're going to get a lot of value out of him. I do think that he's a very, very worthwhile champion to build for most accounts out there. Just remember, as you're planning out your own resources on your account, you can skip up to 250 points in the Titan event, but you're going to have to pull the max amount of Titan event points on at least probably one of the shard pull events. Both shard pull events are probably going to give 300 Titan event points. Final thing I will say, if you are going for the 5-star soul, then we move on to the other rewards that basically everybody has to farm. I'd expect a deck of Fate during this Titan event. I'd expect there to be something like a deck of Fate event that offers something like 150 Titan event points. Maybe 200. I've got no confirmation of this. It's just a hunch. Oftentimes during a Titan event, right in the middle of the Titan event, so like a week from now or something, or like 6 days from now or something, a Deck of Fate event will pop up in these Titan events and offer some Titan event points, and it'll make it so that if you did not get the maximum amount of points during the Summer Rush event from pulling Sacred Shards, say you only got like 100 Titan event points, well, now a Deck of Fate is going to show up, and you better have the Soul Stones to pull for that, because if you don't have the Soul Stones to pull for that Deck of Fate event, you're going to float all kinds of Titan points, and you might find yourself in a position very, very quickly, like halfway through the Titan event, where you wish that you pulled to the max on the Summer Rush event. So it's one of those, you know your account's resources better than mine. All I can say is beware of this. If you're sitting on like 12 Sacred Shards, 13, 14 Sacred Shards or something, and you can afford to pull for the maximum amount of points for the Summer Rush and get the full 300 points from the Summer Rush event now from your Sacred Shards, and you're very, very low on Soul Stones, and if a Deck of Fate comes up and you will not be able to do that Deck of Fate event, like you don't have like the 40 Immortal Soul Stones required to clear a Deck of Fate, just pull the Sacreds and just get the max points from the Summer Rush. That would be my advice. Play it safe. Play it safe, man. Don't pull the minimum amount of points from the Summon Rush and like, oh, I'm going to save all my Sacred Shards and blah, 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 blah. I only pulled like 3 or 4 Sacred Shards during the Summon Rush, and then a Titan event, Deck of Fate comes along, and you don't have the Soul Stones to get through that. You might find yourself kicking yourself if that goes down. So just a word of warning about that. It comes down to what resources your account has available, and you've got to make that call. Now, rewards everybody should be aiming for. If you did the Folan fusion, again, getting the 3-star soul for Folan, easy. Just do it. I feel like unless your account has no silver, 20 gems, and like 1 sacred shard and 3 voids or something, and like you just can't do a single event somehow, like your account is completely broken, everything. Okay, fine, maybe you won't even be able to get this, but if your account is being treated with any amount of sensibility when it comes to resource conservation, you should be able to get the 3-star soul without too much bother. If your account's being trapped with any kind of resource conservation at all as well, I'd say that honestly, aim for the Immortal Soulstone. This would be the goal that I'd be aiming towards. This is a absolutely premium resource for getting through Deck of Fate events, obviously, so you want to pick up Immortal Soulstones in every event possible wherever you can. They only really show up as like a farmable resource inside of events as well, like they don't drop from Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord chests or Hydra crates or anything like that, right? It's like these things pop up in events and you should take advantage of grabbing them whenever you possibly can. And you should be able to get this Immortal Soulstone, like even if the Champion Chase tournament is a 400-point Champion Chase tournament and the Summon Rush event is 300 points, if you skip both of the Shard Pull events, that's 700 points that you're missing. There's still over 1,000 points up for grabs. Even if there's 150 points attached to a Deck of Fate event, you can skip that as well and still get enough points from just farming the other events to get the Immortal Soulstone. For me, this is like a must farm for everybody, even if you skipped on the Folan fusion. Again, there are other Web of Corruption events coming up, and everyone's suspicion is that a guaranteed legendary Deck of Fate event is probably coming at some time next month. Very, very likely. It's been a hell of a long time since we've had one of those, Gonna need about 50 to 60 Soulstones, Immortal Soulstones to get through that, so do be ready for that. As for going for the Skull of Treason, is this a resource that everybody should be aiming for? It costs 1,000 points. You're probably going to struggle to get this if you skip both of the Shard Pull events completely, but if you're not planning on pulling for the Summon Rush at all, you don't have the resources for that, and you're not interested in going for the Fallen 5-star soul, but you want to pull some Void Shards for the Champion Chest when it eventually comes along, if it is indeed Void Shards, how much should you prioritize doing that for the Skull of Treason? Well, what does it actually do? It is a Chaos Awakes legendary relic, so it's quite limited in the sense of a little bit tougher to sort of get your hands on. It's not like a Chimera relic or something that's super readily available. It does give accuracy as the main stat, which is pretty good. Speed is the final stat, which is always a little bit painful. You got to get to like a plus 15 to even see the speed, so or something like that. Anyway, the effect though is pretty good. HP band debuffs placed by the wearer deal 10% more damage to enemies with higher max HP, which is basically all enemies in PvE settings, so pretty good. Also, upgrades on the sucker do ramp the damage a lot, man. Up to a maximum bonus damage of, oh my god, an additional 40. Okay, so a total of 50% more damage from HP band debuffs. With a fully upgraded Skull of Treason, which is very, very hard to do, but even just a level 5 is still a lot, it's a lot of bonus damage from your HP bands, man. If you make a lot of use of Supreme Galak, or Attack, or even like a Skrank in your Hydra teams on your account, yeah, I consider this pretty high priority if you don't have this relic already on your account, man. What do you guys think, man? What are you going for in this Titan event? Are you gonna make the push for the 5-star soul? I am on my free-to-play account. That said, I'm only sitting on like 4 Sacred Shards right now on my free-to-play account and 24 Voids. I'm like just under what I'm comfortable with for both of these shard types. Now, I should be able to get the Void Shards in time. I've got like 8 or 9 days to save these, and I am farming Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord and Nightmare Demon Lord Clan Boss, and so I'm getting like a decently steady supply of these. I think I'll have like 30, maybe 35 Void Shards. Give me like 9 days, The Sacred Shards, though, make me a little bit more nervous. Only because when that Summon Rush event comes along, if I can't get the max points from that and then a Deck of Fate pops up, ooh, I'm quite low on these Soulstones as well. We're going to have to see about this. Really, really would appreciate hitting a couple of Sacred Shards before Friday rolls along, man. Oh, God. I can soon loot these Demon Lord chests. Wish me luck, lads. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys did enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys are planning to do with this Titan event down below in the comments. And of course, while you're down there, if you're looking to create a new raid account, you make sure to get that done by clicking on the beginner link that's below this video at the top of the description box, man. You know the drill. It's the best beginner promo link going. Just click on that link and use it to create a new raid account, man, for all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now. If you've got a friend who's looking to start playing the game, that's the best possible way that that individual can create one's raid account. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to catch all of you guys in the next one.